to get my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
Teyana Taylor has finally broken her silence and exposed shocking details about her divorce from Iman Shumpert. After years of keeping quiet about their personal struggles, she's now revealing how Iman's addiction was one of the biggest factors that led to their split. The divorce, which many assumed was mutual and amicable, was anything but. Teyana claims there were emotional battles behind closed doors that the public never knew about. Her revelations have left fans in shock, and it's raising a lot of questions about Iman's reputation and the future of their co-parenting dynamic. What does this mean for their future as parents, and how will it change how we view both of them? Stick around as we dive deep into the emotional toll their marriage took and the truth behind their separation. For years, Teyana Taylor has kept the details of her and Iman's split under wraps, letting the public assume that the decision was mutual and friendly. However, now she's finally ready to reveal the real reasons behind their divorce. According to Teyana, the tension between them had been brewing for a long time, largely because of Iman's secret addiction struggles. Their marriage, which appeared perfect to fans, was far from it. Teyana explains how things started to fall apart long before the divorce papers were signed, and it all came down to Iman's inability to manage his addiction. Let's take a closer look at the cracks in their seemingly perfect relationship and how the addiction played a central role in the unraveling of their marriage. Teyana has now exposed Iman's long-hidden struggles with substance abuse, struggles that she claims severely impacted their marriage. She says that Iman's addiction was something they kept private for years, but she could no longer remain silent after the divorce. Teyana reveals that his dependency issues led to constant arguments, emotional distance, and eventually, the breakdown of their marriage. Iman's addiction, which was previously unknown to the public, became a significant burden that Teyana could no longer carry. But is this the sole reason their marriage ended, or were there other issues at play as well? Teyana's admission sheds light on a much darker side of their relationship that fans had no idea about, leaving many questioning what really went wrong. Teyana goes on to describe how Iman's addiction began to affect more than just their emotional connection. It impacted their entire family dynamic. There were moments when Iman was unable to show up for his family, including missing important events and being absent during critical times in their daughter's life. This emotional neglect left Teyana feeling alone, isolated, and unsupported. She explains how this addiction gradually drained their relationship, both physically and emotionally, and how she had to watch as the man she loved became someone she no longer recognized. The addiction not only affected their connection as a couple, but also deeply impacted their intimate relationship, with Teyana feeling frustrated and lonely during the final years of their marriage. These intimate details reveal just how severe the addiction was and how it impacted their bond in ways the public never saw. For years, fans admired Teyana for sticking by Iman's side, despite the apparent difficulties in their marriage. However, in this revelation, she admits that she stayed in the relationship for longer than she should have. Teyana says that she truly believed Iman could overcome his addiction and get better. But over time, she began to realize that she was sacrificing her own mental health for the sake of trying to help him. Teyana opens up about the guilt and frustration she felt for not leaving sooner, despite seeing the toll his addiction was taking on their family. It's a raw and emotional confession, and it highlights the inner struggle she faced. Was it a mistake for her to stay in the marriage as long as she did, or did she genuinely believe that Iman could change? So far, Iman has remained silent on the matter, despite the explosive claims Teyana has made about his addiction. Some sources close to Iman say that he's been reflecting on his past and is actively seeking help for his struggles, but he hasn't spoken out publicly about Teyana's revelations. Fans are wondering how Iman will respond. Will he confront Teyana and defend himself, or will he remain silent to avoid further public scrutiny? It's clear that this situation has become more than just a personal issue. It's now something the public is watching closely. Iman has always been a private person, but will this be the time he opens up about his own struggles? Or will he let the story unfold without him? While the public may have initially assumed that Iman and Teyana's divorce was a civil and amicable parting of ways, the reality of their separation has proven to be far more complex and painful. In recent statements, Teyana has openly discussed the emotional toll that Iman's addiction took on their relationship and family. She reveals that the damage was not just personal, but also deeply affected their entire family dynamic. For years, Teyana felt increasingly betrayed and isolated as Iman's struggles with addiction worsened. She recalls a time when the foundation of their marriage crumbled, leaving her alone in the face of challenges that were too much for either of them to handle. Teyana paints a picture of a relationship that began to deteriorate under the weight of addiction, with both partners fighting for their own reasons. Teyana for her own mental and emotional well-being, and Iman for the chance to get clean and regain control over his life. This difference in their battles made the final stages of their relationship incredibly difficult. The emotional fallout of their split has been undeniably painful, and Teyana suggests that the separation, though necessary, was not easy for either party. It seems that while the divorce may have been the best decision for both of them, the unresolved emotions and the remnants of their bond continue to linger. Teyana hints that their relationship may not be entirely over, leaving the door open to the possibility of reconciliation. However, this raises the question, can the damage caused by Iman's addiction and their emotional conflicts be repaired? Has the trust between them been irreparably broken, or is there still room for healing? For now, these questions remain unanswered, and the public is left to speculate on the future of their relationship. The reality of their situation shows that while their marriage may have ended, their emotional journey together is far from finished. One of the central themes in Teyana's statements has been her commitment to co-parenting their daughter. Despite the emotional and personal struggles stemming from the divorce, Teyana emphasizes that her focus remains on their daughter's well-being and ensuring she has a stable and loving environment. The challenge, however, has been significant. Iman's ongoing battles with addiction have made it difficult for him to be fully present, adding another layer of complexity to their co-parenting arrangement. Teyana openly acknowledges the difficult position she finds herself in as a single parent, taking on a larger share of the responsibility for their daughter. Nonetheless, she remains hopeful that Iman will be able to maintain a meaningful role in their child's life, and that his struggles will not define his ability to be a father. As fans watch the situation unfold, many are left wondering how this dynamic will evolve in the coming months and years. Will Iman be able to overcome his addiction and remain a consistent and reliable presence in his daughter's life? Or will Teyana be left to carry the majority of the parenting load? The pressure of being a single parent, especially while dealing with such complex emotional issues, is undoubtedly difficult, but Teyana's determination to ensure a healthy environment for her daughter is clear. Still, the question remains, how long will it take for Iman to stabilize, and can he regain the trust that has been lost in their co-parenting relationship? This is a pivotal time for their family, and fans are closely watching to see how things unfold, hoping for a positive outcome for both parents and their child. While Teyana has faced an immense amount of personal turmoil throughout her marriage and divorce, she has continued to persevere in her career. Teyana has remained a prominent figure in the music, fashion, and entertainment industries, constantly building her brand and drawing support from her loyal fans. Her career has been a source of strength and stability in the midst of the chaos surrounding her personal life. Yet, with the revelation of the emotional pain caused by Iman's addiction, there is the question of how this new level of transparency will affect her public image moving forward. By speaking out about her personal struggles and no longer shielding Iman from the truth, Teyana has taken a bold step in reclaiming her narrative. Many fans view her decision to openly discuss her experience as empowering. She is no longer hiding her pain or protecting her ex-husband from the consequences of his actions. In doing so, she has found a way to use her pain as a tool for growth and healing, both personally and professionally. However, not everyone sees Teyana's decision in a positive light. Some critics have argued that airing such deeply personal struggles in public could have long-term consequences for her career. Celebrities often face criticism for exposing their vulnerabilities, and in Teyana's case, some feel that her decision to share the intricacies of her marriage and divorce might harm her public image. There is always the risk that fans could feel alienated or uncomfortable with the level of exposure she is giving to her personal life. Public figures are often expected to maintain a certain level of decorum, and when they deviate from that norm, it can result in backlash. Some might argue that Teyana's candidness could potentially alienate her fan base, especially those who have admired her for her talent and poise in the public eye. The real test, however, will be how her fans respond to this new chapter in her life. Will they continue to support her, understanding the emotional pain she has endured? Or will they begin to question her character based on her decision to bring such personal matters to the public? It remains to be seen whether this revelation will harm her career or solidify her as a role model for those going through similar struggles. As with any public figure, the way she handles this moment moving forward will dictate whether she can rise above the drama or if it will have lasting effects on her professional life. The support from her fans will be crucial in determining whether this transparency serves as a moment of empowerment or a misstep in her career trajectory. Teyana's decision to expose Iman's addiction brings a larger conversation about addiction into the public eye. For years, addiction has been something that celebrities have hidden, often due to the stigma surrounding it. By opening up about Iman's struggles, Teyana is helping to break the silence and encourage others to speak out. Her actions could inspire other public figures to come forward about their own battles, creating a more open and accepting environment around addiction. But how will this impact the public's perception of addiction? Will it help to reduce the stigma, or will it further damage the image of those who struggle with it? Teyana's decision to reveal the truth could have a lasting impact on how addiction is viewed by the public. What do you think about Teyana's decision to expose Iman's addiction? Was it the right choice, or did she go too far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you think Teyana is showing strength, and subscribe for more shocking updates. Stay tuned for all the latest developments in this ongoing story. You won't want to miss what happens next.